happy to. Thank you.
It will ease the pain.
Thank you. My name is Hortense. Well, it is. I come from a nice family. My parents had 3 children, 1 of each. My father used to say to me, "Listen, stupid." He always called me listen. "Why don't you go out and get a job? So at least we'll know what kind of work you're out of." I said, "I tried, Papa, but life is hard. I'm going to run away from home. Do you hear me? I'm going to run, run, run." He said, "On your mark, get set."
Wow, he's racing through it.
Oh, I joined a little dance troupe. I did.
No.
I danced on my right leg. I danced on my left leg. Between the 2 of them, I made a lot of money. I'll wait. Our little dance troupe was invited to entertain the soldiers at Fort Knox. Oh, and the boys were so polite. Why, I wore my most provocative dress, and when I walked through the barracks, all the privates stood up. Could you explain that to her? The head colonel fell in love with me. Oh, Hortense, he said, "Would you grace my presence at the military ball?" I said, "Silly goose, of course I will." He wore his medals, I wore my organdy gown. We sipped champagne and danced. He held me close, closer, closer. And then he went off in his uniform. Dirty, 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 dirty.
Puke.
And I never saw him again. After I lost my colonel, life was a drag.
Puke. Puke.
Not that I lack for lovers, mind you. Oh, no, no. Why, there was old Judge Deadwood. Hi, Judge. And he was 60. I was 22. He said, "I'm a regular Don Juan." And he was right. After 1, he was done. Then lightning struck. That once-in-a-lifetime man came into my life, Brock Allison, the ketchup king. Well, we met in a bar. He poured me a glass of whiskey. "Say when," he said. I said, "As soon as I finish the whiskey." Well, it was a whirlwind courtship, and Brock was so generous in his own way. He asked me what I wanted for an engagement present, and I told him, "Pearls, pearls, pearls." So he bought me a bushel of oysters and wished me luck. I said, "All shucks." For a wedding present, he gave me a nightgown with fur around the bottom. I said, "What's the fur for?" He said, "To keep your neck warm." Honey, you ain't kidding me. You got one of those. That evening, after all the wedding guests had left, Brock took me tenderly in his arms. "Oh, Hortense," he whispered, "tell me, am I the first?" And I said, "Why does everyone always ask me that?" For some reason, Brock became moody. Business took him to Europe. He deserted me. I was alone again. I was driven to drink.
You are a fail, Jason.
I forgot who drove me. I became a lush. Well, one night I'm sitting at a bar with my pet duck under my arm, and this drunk walks in and says, "Hey, where did you get that pig?" I said, "This isn't a pig." He said, "I was talking to the duck." Years of heartache and despair followed, but all things passed. Well, the other night I'm strolling down Manatee Avenue, up and down, when guess who I saw? Yeah, it was Brock, talking to my old friend, the Colonel. Well, I tried to hide the cracks in my shattered heart.
The only way a banter sounds good.
And I must have done pretty well, because I overheard the Colonel say to Brock, "Is that Hortense?" And Brock said, "She looks pretty relaxed to me." I don't know, it might have been better when it was cold in here. Brock came over and he said, "Oh, Hortense, it's so good to see you here in Braden, Kentucky after all these years. Tell me, what are you up to?" I said, $50. He said, "Can you ever forgive me for deserting you all those years ago?" And I told him that I had written a poem for just such an occasion. The moon may kiss the stars on high.
Standing.
The bees may kiss the butterflies.
Yeah,
The morning
that's
dew
what it says on
may
your cue
kiss
sheet
the
anyway.
grass. I warned you about this already. And you, dear Brock, which do you want, prose or poem? Farewell.